line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the...
Okay, so sorry we're a little late getting the start and getting the jump on this one, but yeah, I think you guys kind of know us by now. We usually don't start this late, but welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back here to PTM Racing TV, live here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We are about to see Myrtle Beach Speedway, the historic track, come to life once again in the virtual world as we are under the night lights, under the skies above. We're about to see some hard racing for the super late model drivers of Misfitz iRacing League right here now on PTM Racing TV. I'm the Crusader Christian Driver, joining you guys today here in South Carolina. Great to have you back on board and great to be back here on the show here. And it really, you know, Myrtle Beach Speedway has probably been one of the tracks that I can never personally figure out, but it's one of my favorite tracks to kind of watch just for the fact it can be a bit of a hard racing sanctuary as much as it can be a tough sanctuary to deal with. And you're about to find that out why in just a moment. As we take a look on the pole today, though, Royce Gravano on the 76 is your number 1 seed, is outside Zach M. Woods on number 1. In row number 2, it's going to be Jaden Russell in the 42, is outside Noah Healy in the 81. In row 3, Race Bible will pilot the 8, is outside Patrick Jenks in 78. At row number 4, it's Chandler Hunchins there in the number 77, or 22, excuse me, and his outside will be in the 56, Joshua Ingram. In car number 54, row 5, Frank Griffith will be in that one. Is outside Jordan Riddick, pilots up car 15. Row number 6 is Matthew Karakov in the double O. Is outside. It's the 51, Jesse Singleton. Ryan Dyer, here's the 83. He will round out your field. I apologize up front if things seem a little choppy or if I'm a little bit all over the place, because right now I just got a brand new piece of equipment we're working with, and right now trying to get set into the studio, and believe me when I say this thing is not easy to set up, but thankfully it seems like it's all ready to go. We just need to get everything set down on the track as we're ready to go racing here down on Myrtle Beach Speedway here. Let's get down to PTM Racing TV business and get to the racing side of things. Off our corner number 4 to the green flag we wave. We're off and running. Ingram not getting the best start out of the gate here. Some guys going really wide out of the corner here, like that 78 of Patrick Jenks. He brings it right back down low. Down into the Race Bible zone here, trying to make a move in the WE number 78. Oh, bumping and tagging on that 42. Jaden Russell out of the gate as well. Both drivers in a hot frenzy here. Going up way too high though. 78, way too loose, way too hard in the corners. It takes a huge hit on some of these boys down there. 78 has wrecked that out on the back straightaway. Patrick Jenks out as we had a little bit of problems at a 3 wide salute. Behind the field, Jordan Riddick right now trying to literally escape the go. Oh my! Race Bible getting a piece there from the number 42, Jaden Russell. Looked like Russell kind of caved him in and couldn't quite give him enough room to get out of there. Costing him precious time, precious momentum. Noah Healy right now up 1 spot here in the 81, trying to hold his line to get Zach M. Woods here as the number 1 tries to hold the Zach Attack Express on board. Well, we knew going to this track it would get a little chaotic. We knew this one get a little wild. We were not for sure how wild it would get. Well, right now we're getting a big piece of it and getting a good look at it. It's kind of an open-ended track. There's a few areas you can run with. There's a few shots you can go from, but that definitely is not going to work out long-term in heat number 1 especially. 22 Chandler Hutch right now trying to get back up into the field here. A little bit of a swing or two or miss with the Glitchcrafter Gremlins in that 54 Frank Griffith. Trying to stay out of trouble as Matthew Karakov with the double O sees him swerving and twirling. Giving him a little bit of a tag there, and there ain't nothing you can do about a bump and run or two around here. Griffith set up to the outside, and the double O taking position away from him. Griffith, though, definitely looked like he wants to get a little payback at him for that. Not quite giving him too much room or too many inches to get away from. But your race leader to the white flag this time on by here will be Royce Gravano. Scarvano, as usual, pouring on the momentum, pouring down the speeds. Off corner number 3, down into turn number 4, and the Z-Swift of 76, Royce Gravano, will win another one. Heat number 1 belongs to him. Second place was Zach M. Woods. Jordan Riddick goes third. Fourth to Noah Healy. Fifth to Jaden Russell. That will round out your top 5. And looks like Russell may not be making too many friends out there. But then again, neither was Ty Gibbs. So who knows? I think I can tell you, though, from my first-hand experience, Russell's pretty good about taking it as much as he's at getting it. So warm-up session now underway. But let's take a look at our race results here from heat number 1 here. Pretty astonishing start here, to say the least. These guys got a little bit wild out of the gate, then things kind of tamed back down, everything got a little squared up. So it's going to be interesting to see how this goes long-term strategy-wise, but I'd say right now everything looks pretty good on our end. We'll see how the rest goes, though. Scrivano was your winner, Zach M. Woods, and Jordan Riddick went third out of that field. Now, race fans, while we wait for the drivers to get squared away here, let's just take a time here to talk about this track. Let's take a look at Myrtle Beach Speedway. As you can tell, this track, not exactly your usual oval configuration. I would probably lean it towards kind of a half a road of a Richmond and an Iowa Speedway, just on a shorter track basis. But really, the biggest problem you're going to see, and where a lot of drivers are going to get stuck into, is this interesting turn. Turn number 1 over here. Let's take a look at it. You can see turn 1 is going to be more of a wide open-ended turn compared to 3 and 4 as we take a look at the onboard camera here of Frank Griffin, the 54. Tighter cornered end off on 3 and 4, but watch this wide open range here in turn 1 and 2. Very similar to Richmond in its style, but also kind of has a little bit of that banking that you would see kind of on the lower end of Iowa Speedway, kind of progressing upward. It's a flatter track, so you really have to try to find an angle and find an opening down there. But really, the biggest problem you're going to see a lot of drivers get into all day long is having to try to corner off somebody really quickly as they enter into turn 1, because they get that wide open shot. Somebody easily can just go dip down right inside and give you the old bumper tag and get out of your way run. It's been done before. I've used it before. I personally hate doing it here on that spot especially, but that's kind of the way this track runs sometimes. Sometimes you got to be aggressive, and sometimes you just got to completely take risk and caution to the win if it means getting victory. These drivers know it, and they're going to have to really temper with it. Now, there is a way, though, to get the fastest of the lines here. The outside does have some embankment there, but the problem is you get too low on that bottom, you so need Noah Healy get into. There's actually a little bit of a troublesome nuisance down there, as we call the turtles. So as we go on board, so you see right there it is right there. There's turtles just down low there. Those turtles, what they do is that when a car goes over and starts to run up, they're basically like big bumps in the road. Like you ever go on tracks? You ever go on the actual road, right on a road, if you will? Like you're going through a trailer park or something. Maybe it's just me, but like you have those big little bumps. They say like go 10 miles per hour because they're bumps and etc. etc. Just imagine that on a track like this with cars lower to the ground, faster in speeds obviously. And if they touch them, then they go for a wild ride and possibly damage up the car. You can imagine why nobody wants to go anywhere near those things. But the problem is, to get the fast line, you gotta get to the bottom. And it goes for 3 and 4 especially. But 3 and 4, you got the wall though. It's kind of right off from. It's just that tricky little some turn 4 there that might catch you off guard a little bit here or there. But great passing opportunities, though, in my opinion, compared to turn 1, is in turn 3 and 4. And really, it all revolves around that one little section here. It's this little edge here. If you actually get somebody just clean enough, you saw it earlier, if you can bump them enough, they won't get necessarily too loose where they spin and crash. They'll get loose enough to where the rear end slides out, and they got to save and kind of kick back on it again. And that to me is kind of an ordeal. It's kind of an ordeal situation you're going to have to really find yourself into throughout this race and throughout these moments, because things can get very chaotic, things can get very crazy. But you can see right there, just trying to save these cars can be easier said than done. Believe me, I've known that from first-hand experiences. It's not a wide open track, it's not the fastest track, but you know what it is? It is a short track, and you know what? It is dearly missed and dearly beloved, of course. Myrtle Beach Speedway, sadly, is no more. This track has been lost into history, it's lost in time now. It's been renovated out to put apartments there or something like that. I don't even know, I don't really care. That's because it's just sad. We lost a historical track, a track that the Earnhardts ran at, that began their racing journey, really, if you wanted to go there. This is where Dale Earnhardt, Dale Sr., Kerry Earnhardt, Jeffrey Earnhardt, a lot of big names ran under the Earnhardt clan and the family, and it was especially pronounced with the highly watched show Lost Speedways, I believe is what's called, with Dale Earnhardt Jr. kind of talking about it and his past experiences here. To me personally, I never got to experience this track live. I never got to really see it in person, which I'm really upset at myself I couldn't get to do, but it does seem like a really interesting track. But I can't say one thing though, that I don't think it's lost its merit when I can say it's probably still a track many folks will run at for multiple years to come. So never lose sign of hope, but unfortunately this track is long gone in our history. But it lives on in the virtual world, and tonight these drivers are about to expose that and show you what they've got at their sleeve. So let's start them up on the pole. Pretty much identical to what we saw a little start on the gate was Royce Gravano. He's your number 1 seed. Zach M. Woods, though, he will be second. In row number 2, it's going to be Jordan Riddick in that 15. It's outside Noah Healy in the 81. In row number 3, it's going to be Jane Russell in the 42. It's outside Jesse Singleton in the 51. In row number 4, Matthew Karakoff will pile up the double O. Is outside the 54. Make Frank Griffith. Row number 5 is going to be Chandler Hutchins, and the 22 is outside is the 56, Joshua Ingram. Ryan Dyer will be in the 3 is outside Patrick Jenks in the 78, and then Race Bible will be in the 08 to round out your field. And the field is ready to go and ready to get settled up here. We saw earlier on what these drivers were capable of in the heat. Well, now that heat is over with, there are 13 drivers ready to quote point blank stance and fire it on down. If this is your first time on the channel, be sure to like and follow us up here on Facebook. Head to our YouTube, subscribe here as well. We really do appreciate everything you guys bring to the table here. And race fans, just a heads up, if I didn't kind of make it obvious enough with what that little logo says right there, tonight's race has been presented in part by the Keystone Corner. Be sure to also give him a little love down there. He is on YouTube, so subscribe there on his YouTube channel, the Keystone Corner. Tell him PTM Racing TV sent you in a comment or two, and say thank you for helping us out in the Misfitz iRacing League. I think a name you're going to have to watch out for in this race, Jaden Russell, as well as that 22, Chandler Hutchins. Now, Hutchins is kind of in a no man's land in that 777 Jakes machine. He didn't have much speed last time, but what he did have was some old classic runs and race runs here on some of these guys. And to me, he could easily use that bumper too when he has to. And Jaden Russell, I don't think I need to make any appointment on that one. But we're about to find out who has the advantage and who will be the man of the hour, the man with the power. You see our flagman up there with the green flag ready to wave. Coming off of turn number 4, that front straightaway, they're going to fire him on down, and we're green flag racing, ladies and gentlemen. Coming off the edges down in turn number 2, and it's going to be Zach M. Woods with a slight advantage on the outside. Royce Gravano on the inside line trying to hold him down, though, keeping all that speed and run. Oh, as I say that, though, Zach M. Woods gets a tag and a little spin around. On she goes. Caution's out. Caution's out. Got a hard save. Jordan Rick had gave him a little toe tap and a push there. We'll have to take a look at the PTM instant replay and get a better judge of that one. But from my end, it looked like maybe just overshot it. Oh yeah, that right there, you see right there, Riddick was anywhere near him. So I apologize to Riddick there. Yeah, what happened was you saw the number 1 go straight into that turn. He's trying to hard drive off to keep that 15 away from taking his position over. But as you can see, the Jakes 1 Toyota Camry does not hold line. You can see that rear end's already kicking out on him, so he's trying to hang on. He's looking for the speed. Drives way too far up, gets too loose. Tries to save it, goes in the wall, and that was the end of it. One more look at it here. This is his onboard replay from his cockpit cam. You see right there, he stays on the throttle. He's trying to straighten it, and he just overshot it. Again, there's not much you can do really. You gotta be careful about that. You can't overshoot these corners. We talked about it earlier. The entry into turn 1 is gonna be where most guys get a little too crazy off of and get a little too over their heads. But it's gonna be turn 3 and 4 that really dictates the pace for some of these guys. Because some of them have to get to that inside line, or they're not gonna be able to hold that car down. I've been in their shoes before. I know exactly how it feels. It does not feel good when you cannot get that thing squared up and ready to fire back on. They're going to have to be careful about that. As the field dictates themselves around back out of turn number 3, down to turn number 4 here. Back to the green flag we go. Set them up. Scrivano to the start. Green flag is out. And Jaden Russell right now already putting up a little fire. Whoa, hold on. They backed off there, but Frank Griffin didn't quite get backed off. Oh, my. Oh, and a huge hit coming off of turn number 4 here. 3 and 4, excuse me. Jaden Russell. Well, uh-oh. Oh, oh. Well, I'm just going to say boys may just be boys here. Well, right now, I'm not sure if that was intentional or what that was. All I know is we're going to go look at the replay, and then maybe I'll get my thoughts there. How about that little 3-wide slowed action? You know, Healy making a good move. 54, Griffith got spun around there and got taken back for a ride. Jaden Russell kind of getting clipped. Healy getting kind of sent around. Well, from that angle, I could not tell you. Let's just take a look at it from this angle. Well, yeah, I'm just gonna say he did throttle that thing a little bit. So, if you got time to back off, you got time to back off. That's all I'm gonna say. Not gonna get rambunctious, not yet, not yet. I know some folks out there have been mad. I know some folks got mad at me when I kind of got at them about it, and then some folks praised me for it. And so, you know what? I'm gonna play the middle line, the middle ground. I'm not gonna say anything about it right now. So, I'm just gonna say that he definitely could have backed off. But Frank Griffin right now, I will say, probably out of all of them, got the short end of the stick here. Considering what happened to him, he ended up getting sent into pit road. Had nothing he could do. Had to brake hard to get out of that mess and couldn't quite escape it. So, you know what's funny though? Roy Scrivano and Jordan Rick, those two, they have never really been tested that much. Now, you're probably wondering, oh, what are you talking about? They've had to be tested before. They had to go in the back and had to work their way up to the front. Yes and no. They had to work off from a fuel run or a tire strategy or pit strategies. But it seems like constantly you always see them in that race lead. They have never really had troubles keeping a consistent lead, keeping a consistent basis. And they've been getting very smart about that over time. And I think they're starting to really realize what they can bring to the table as the green flag runs back on out. Problems down there for Ryan Dyer there in turn number 1, unfortunately. Oh, that one got sent shooting in. We didn't say Myrtle Beach was an easy track to race. That's far from it. I told you guys enough. I really do not like running this track. It's so darn tough to beat. It's fun to watch, but I hate racing here. And I really don't know why. Maybe it's just because it's not my style of racing, but I don't know. Maybe it's not my cup of tea either. But it still is a lot of fun to call, a lot of fun to watch. The other drivers have to figure out how to deal with it. Josh Ingram, unfortunately, getting into that back there, the 51 of Jesse Singleton, trying to hold back his run, trying to hold back his field. Every one of these guys are getting bumped and banged around here. No one is safe from the bumps and the bangs of this track, man. Myrtle Beach Speedway certainly living up to the roads, living up to the height. That's a tough track to tame and a tough track to master. Not quite Darlington levels, but it's extremely difficult to deal with. Zach M. Woods in the Jakes #1, despite his little spin around and hiccup earlier, has now caught back up into the field. Noah Healy, though, going to find himself in the shadow realm and put back into the run here at turn number 3 and 4. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at the replay here and find out what happened exactly. Came right off in turn number 2. It looked like everything was okay. He may have gotten the bump and run there for the 56S going into the turn. Oh yeah, he did. That's 2 for a 56S. You know, I'm not really sure if Ingram is trying to get himself in trouble or if he just decided that I didn't put him on my watch out list, but I didn't really see him in the heat being a bit of a troublesome, at least until now. Now it seems like that's completely opposite, but you can see Ingram, man, he drove into that corner. It looked like Healy hit the wall a little bit, so it did slow him down. We'll give him benefit of the doubt there, but Ingram has gotten into a few guys already, so I don't know how many friends he's exactly making out there. You guys be the judge there. Well, race fans, when we come back, still more action to showcase here on PTM Racing TV. Tonight's race, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you in part by our friends at the YouTube channel, the Keystone Corner. Again, be sure to go over to his YouTube, subscribe there, and let him know that PTM Racing TV sent you on by. Thank you to the Keystone Corner for their support in the Misfitz iRacing League and the Super League Model Division. So, field right now getting squared back up into pace number 1 here. We'll let everyone get squared back up here, as this was our 3rd caution of the day, and the A main, I should say. Myrtle Beach down here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, has seen some hard racing, some hard charging. The Super League Model Division, though, has been a mainstay here from its inception to its closure. The Super League Model race was the very final race ever here on this track. It's hard to believe and sad to see that that was where it all came to and where it all came down to. But you know what? These drivers in these Misfitz iRacing League, as well as many others, myself included, still cherish this track and are glad to have it in the iRacing virtual world. Hopefully, down the line, down other platforms, and maybe if iRacing does iRacing 2 or whatever, maybe down the road, this track can stay with us and will never go away. It is that special of a track. File them up, down to corner number 3, down to turn number 4, green flag back on out. And there might be a few guys kind of pushing themselves around a little bit. Joshua Ingram back at it here. Swinged it way too far wide. Noah Healy, great move on his end, though. Takes the double low. Matthew Karikoff for a little runoff. Takes full control, full advantage. Jordan Riddick right now trying to hang in there with Royce Scarvano now. Not pulling up any shunts. Not trying to hold him off. You're on board here, though, with that Rowdy Energy 51. Jesse Singleton. And you can just see how difficult it is to hold somebody down on that bottom lane. Also trying to find a way to hold the outside line up because you got that wall up there. It's such a tight cornered end. It doesn't matter if you're running a wheel of modified tour, you're running a Super Late Models. Oh, trouble down turn 2. Back straightaway, we got a huge hit off Matthew Karikoff in the double low. As Chandler Hutchins at 777 clips the rear end of Noah Healy. Healy, though, able to drive off and continue on. Nice going from his end, but whoo boy, things are just getting crazier and crazier here, my friends. Well, here's our PTM instant replay, and well, if you wanted a toe tap, there's your toe tap, but there's the smack, and there's the rack, and then it's back on the attack. Noah Healy, man, I don't know what's got it. I don't know what the heck these boys got on him right now, but this kid, man, is just getting rear-ended after rear-ended. It doesn't matter where he's at. It's that. I mean, a youngster, I'm not sure if maybe he's just a bully in school and he stole some lunch money from some of these kids when they were in their school or whatever, and now he's like that guy that everyone's thinking about, but it doesn't seem like it. I thought he was a decent kid when we talked with him, when we raced with him. But apparently the drivers don't think so today. All in all, though, we're ready to get back down the action here. Drivers are set to go here. We'll double file back up for the Misfitz. 75 laps in this race, remember that? So it's definitely not going to be the longest race ever. It's honestly going to be kind of a shorter race, if you will. I've always said a shorter race sometimes can be a really good race if it's action-thrilled and action-packed. Although if that comes from Haley Deegan, that may be a different story to some other folks out there. I have my thoughts on that too, but I do agree with what she says. The races for Cup don't not need to be as long as they are. If Martinsville, because the whole debate is with Martinsville that it was like a 2 hour and 45 minute snooze fest. To me, honestly, 2 hours and 45 minutes and 2 hours and 30 minutes, that's a perfect time, in my opinion, for the Cup Series. I don't need like a real extremely long 3.5 hour, 3 hour rate, 3 hour to 4 hour race, because honestly that just takes way too much time up considering what we do here on the show and what we do in racing in general. But that's kind of my overall thoughts on it. But you guys let me know down in the comment section below. You know, are we wrong for thinking that? Should the races be like 2.5, 2:45 at the max? I mean, honestly, I would love to see a 2 hour and 20 minute race more than anything, because I mean, you can do a lot in that time with a Cup Series car. But you guys tell me down below, you know, should they not? I don't know. You be the decider. I can't say though with these short tracks, there's one thing I'm really glad with is that short tracks, dirt tracks, they go by, they breeze by, and they're so fast, they're so furious, man. That's what I love. I love that energy and I love that octane feeling you get. If the drivers can match that, even if it's only for 100 laps, to me, it makes me want more, and that makes me want to come back and watch more of it, instead of just make me kind of sit back and just kind of snooze back into sleep. But these Misfits guys, that certainly is the opposite of what they do, man. It's going to be a bit of a crazy run off here. We're going to see everyone get filed back into place. Ernest number 8 of Race Bible looking to try to hammer down and get that Jordan Riddick 15 and the 76 of Scrivano. Green flag out again. And once again, drivers finding lines in multiple angles, but most of them trying to go to the bottom immediately. Zach M. Woods looking for maybe a little bump and drag on that 8 of Race Bible. Right now, Scrivano is a race leader. Jordan Riddick holding him down. Scrivano and Riddick, man, these two have been to heck and back with one another. They've been through war time and time again here on PTM Racing TV. Neither driver finding a way to get the better of the inches here. But it's been such a quite heated show, quite a heated race run, that every time you come out and see them, you know they got something up their sleeve. Oh, a little trouble down there. Return number 2, slideways. Oh, that's that number 51 of Jesse Singleton. I'm not sure if that's Ingram giving him a bumper, trying to push him up a little to get him loose, but that was not very good here for Rowdy Energies number 51. He's going to have to start dialing that thing up a little more if he wants to get some speed going. But I think he's really worried about that bumper of the 56 of Ingram, because again, you've seen Ingram earlier on. He was driving that thing in and giving people a few taps and a little licks or a nudge or two, but doesn't seem to be in that situation now, and it definitely ain't happening anymore. Smash dab into the wall, turn number 4, and he is up in the wall, riding. While riding indeed, coming out of the gate. Look at Jaden Russell trying to get his lap back. Oh, look out down, turn the back straightaway though. We got troubles. Patrick Danks crashing in with Ryan Dyer. And once again, troubles down here, unfortunately for these drivers. Let's take a look at the replay. Well, Ingram got kind of toe tapped here. Oh! Jaden Russell was trying to square up, but he ended up getting tagged there by, he actually squared up to Patrick Jenks. Jenks got tagged around a little bit. I'm not sure if that was another intentional shot by Jaden or what that was. It doesn't look like it from my end. You can see he's trying to get his lap back. Again, that's just a short track racing mentality. You just never know when this is going to happen. You can see Frank Griffith, once again, man, this 54S has not caught a break when it comes to getting his bumper and his car just completely mangled around here. No limit on the fast repairs, but the tires is certainly a different story. I don't know, is that maybe making the drivers drive a little bit too aggressive though, having that no fast repairs limit? We talked about it earlier, we debated about it a lot too, which is how many fast repairs is too many? You know, how much is too much? You know, the iRacing servers for the actual times that we had going on right now, when we were under 2020 COVID restraints, iRacing had the NASCAR drivers race and they had 2 fast repairs. But now it's completely the opposite. It's literally every driver's trying to make sure they don't have to go with anything but less than 1. It's kind of crazy though to see how much things have changed and how far we've gone in this world. Alright, race fans, let's get them filed back in. We're about halfway approaching the end of this race. Scarvano, Riddick, Singleton, all looking to try to make some moves here, all looking to try to get something going, as both guys have been absolutely clinging and clamoring for everything they got. Here we go, race fans. Double file back up off the ends here, off the corners. I smell blood in the water. I smell a driver's track coming up again here because this one could get a little bit nasty here. Zach M. Woods heading into pit road there, had got some damage cleaned up, looking to try to maybe fix up some stuff. His pit lane there at lap 33 will definitely make the times a little bit harder for these guys, and he knows he's going to make them sweat just a little bit more. Off the green flag restart. And once again, every single one of these drivers right now just trying to find an angle, trying to find an opening, and trying to stay out of trouble's way. 3 wide salute. And look at Zach M. Woods just shuffling the field up and taking drivers left and right. And now the Zach attack gets put into good use here as Frank Griffith and that 54S trying to avoid any more trouble, trying to find a little bit of runoff here. Oh, he clips down the 77. Whoa. Oh, Chandler Hutchins can't catch a break to save his life and gets clipped in around. Ingram does too. Ryan Dyer squared away. No caution, though. No caution now. They're going to let him run. Got about 35 laps remaining here. Scarvano knows he's going to be getting really close to dealing with Riddick in a minute. Yellow flag is out, though. No, 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 no. Zach M. Woods, Frank Griffith involved in this one. Well, back to square one. Let's take a look at the replay. Presented by the Keystone Corner. Here is the look of the instant replay here. And you can see this is pretty close. And I don't think Dyer was trying to get that 54S. It looked like he just kind of drove a little too hard off. And Frank was just kind of right in that line of sight. He really had nowhere to go. And things got pretty crazy there coming off that turn. Watch the mirror, look at it. Looked like Griffith might have came down on him actually a little bit. Zach looked like he was holding his line down alright. May not have seen the bumpers though be put together, and unfortunately it looked like Griffith may have got too much as Woods, but Woods was right there with him, so if anything I'd consider that the racing ordeals as we usually call them. It's a short track after all, so I mean, what do you expect? Well, still at the proverbial end game here. Drivers are trying to finish up this race, trying to fold down. See the flash bulb going off. That's not something I haven't seen since really like the mid-2000s. It's kind of crazy back then. Now that we don't even use our flash bulbs on our phones or our cameras, that to me it's kind of crazy. I miss those days where it was like something cool happened, something crazy happened, like all of a sudden the flash bulbs just be flying all over the place. It's a much different time compared to when I was a kid. I know a lot of folks definitely have fond memories of their childhoods and their world, and I'd say right about now here with Myrtle Beach, a lot of fond memories and childhood memories that a lot of folks will never be able to get back. So, but at the same time, being able to revive it, relive it, I'd say is all the worthwhile. So, your hard charge of the night here so far is Race Bible in the number 8 here. If Race Bible can somehow find a way around Riddick and Scrivano, honestly, this might be his for the taking. He's been locked and loaded. So that's really the start of this one. So, gonna be interesting to see if he can continue on and really strive to be the top dog out of it all. Off in corner number 3, down in turn number 4, though. Setting the field back up for the restart zone. Green's out. We're underway. And the roar of these beasts being put to good use, being put down on the track side here. They'll line them off down on turn 2 in the backstretch. Singleton getting away from Noah Healy for a brief fleeting moment. Karakov dealing with the pressure from Ingram coming up from the field. Chandler Hutchins, that 77, looking to maybe make a few moves off, looking for a few rundowns in the corners. Every driver for themselves here, they know time is elapsing. On the inside zone, you see that is Healy. The outside, that is the 51 Singleton. Trouble down there for Jaden Russell. And it looks like Frank Griffith. These two cannot get away from each other today. They'll fire them back up, but the problem is they've got lap traffic now being put into their minds because they've got the leaders coming up to them. If they can continue on, I guarantee you Scrivano and Riddick will catch them quicker than they realize. Matthew Karakov right now trying to hold in for his top 10 spot, but he's looking for a top 5 today. He's at 6 right now, looking to hunt down the 81 and the 51 here. And look at this, Healy. Like I said earlier on, if you can try to find a way to shuffle somebody up top side, you got to run on that inside. That's the speed. And into the bottom, top speed coming from Healy. And Healy engages. Oh, but look at the crossover move coming up from Singleton. Trying to sneak his way inside. He didn't have time that time. Couldn't quite clear Healy. Healy had too much running momentum. Ingram on the outside trying to stay out of the race leader's way. Jordan Rick trying to do everything he can with the laps he's got left at his disposal to get to Scrivano, but Scrivano has been playing a relatively clean race, smart strategy on his end. He did it back in the heats. He's continuing on here in the A main. And if we take a look at the lap time right now, well, this is not exactly going Riddick's way here. Scrivano is pretty much putting this thing ahead and giving himself all the room and momentum he needs. But it looks like maybe Riddick might be backing off just a little bit, maybe giving himself some patience here and some time to breathe. If he is, then I'd say right about now he needs to get a little more on the nose on the power boost here. Singleton taking back the position away from Noah Healy, but Healy diving back down low. He says, hey, wait a minute, you think you could just run away from me that easily, kid? No, I'm not going away that easily. Looking to drive it down low, hard on the corner, hard on the charge. Singleton trying to hold on. Both guys in a hot disputed bait here as both guys continue to try to hang onto that line, but the outside just seemingly gets Singleton way too loose off corner number 4. You can see the rear end sliding out way too much. Healy driving a much cleaner down low lane, but he's not building as much speed as Singleton is because he's having to run a much harder corner. A harder corner versus a softer corner usually results in more speed, but it also results in the car getting a little bit looser. How you handle it is how you work around it, and that's kind of what we talk about in dirt track racing, which is trying to keep that car as straight as possible. Singleton, you can see the rear end kicking out. He can't keep it straight. Lost all that speed. The RPMs may be high, but the car is not on the ground to do any kind of grip there. 19 will turn to 18 laps left to go. Royce Scrivano, your race leader. Race Bible in third with Riddick right up ahead of him. And got a huge lead on both guys here into the field and the pace. Frank Griffith right now dealing with some Gatic company coming up from Jaden Russell. And then number 42 though, Russell very many laps down. due to the circumstances he suffered earlier on. But now he will be a part of an issue here with lap traffic, or will he? Because the caution's out. The caution is out. Caution seems to be on Zach M. Woods and that number 1 machine, so we'll have to take a look at what happened to the Jakes 1 this time around. To the PTM Instant Replay, here we go. Let's find out what the heck happened here. There it is, off turn 2, and remember what I said earlier about those darn turtles? Yeah, that's why you don't want to hit them. Those things will give you trouble, and that gave him trouble, unfortunately. We're going to go on the onboard camera here to show you guys a better view of what it looked like. All presented in part by the Keystone Corner. A big thank you to them again, and be sure to support them on their YouTube. But you see right there, he hit that turtle, and that thing was like, nope. Not holding that line down no more. One of the toughest ends of the track to deal with, by far to none. Race about to finish up, but when we come back, who will be the top dog? Find out when we return. Ladies and gentlemen, again, tonight's race presented in part by the Keystone Corner. If you guys haven't already, hit them up on their YouTube and subscribe for more action-packed content. And also tell them PTM Racing TV sent you on by. Big thank you again to the Keystone Corner for sponsoring and supporting the Misfitz iRacing League. Commercial free from here on out, race fans. We're going to get squared away. And I'd say Russell right about now, not too thrilled that he's still quite a few laps down. Kind of driving like a bit of a madman out there trying to get his lap back. Hey, who can blame him though? Twelve laps remain. Come green flag start here, race fans. Myrtle Beach Speedway's been good to us so far. Can it continue to give us the results? We're about to find out. Green flag's out. Escravano having to hold off Riddick right out of the gate. Riddick, though, piles of speed. He's got some run on the outside. Always got to try to give him that bumper here and trying to get him out a little bit, make him a little bit squirrely going up top side. Couldn't quite get it. Escravano holds it. Riddick knows if he does not find a way to get to that inside corner or get a bumper on that 76, he might have a little bit of a hard time making any passes anytime soon. He's well aware of that. He's trying to hang on. But Escravano is starting to already drive this thing off. He's getting some speed on those short runs. Riddick may have had a better long run car, but again, it seems like the cautions continue to drive and conquer for Escravano. Race Bible holding back here, still hanging on by a good margin around Noah Healy here as the rest of our field pretty closer together, pretty close on the nose. Jesse Singleton, the 51, looking to try to get up there to that number 1. Bumpers and fenders being put together, being put to good use here. Driver still hot on the nose, hot on the charge. Everyone looking for positions and looking for the last minute runs here with only about 8 laps left to go. Singleton has been pretty much been a thorn to some folks and maybe a little bit more of a troublemaker for others. But he is still in a proverbial spot to give it all she's got. Oh, right into the wall out of turn number 4 though. Hit it hard and hit it strong. Frank Griffith, I think, might have been sentenced to the Shadow Realm. I think he might have too many incident points to his name, and this is going to cost him dearly. What a tough break for Frank Griffin. Man, the guy just came out here and he put on all his horsepower, put on all his speed, and just tried to hang on, but it just did not last as long as he would like to. That's a darn shame. Singleton's still trying to deal with Zach M. Woods. Zach M. Woods right now currently holding down the Zach Attack #1 Jake's machine. But that 51 Camry, man, he is just a madman on these corners. Taylor Hutchins, oh, hold on. Okay, he'll fire it up. He's got it straight away. Can they keep it green? Yes, they will. 5 now goes to 4 to go. 4 laps remain. Riddick needs to start making some moves and some strides, whether he's not going to get Roscano. He's not going to get Royce. Scrivano is just way too far ahead at this point to really do anything with if he can't start really managing some charters and managing some speeds out there. And he knows it. Oh, it's Singleton this time. Whoa, that definitely is the bumper run I was talking about earlier. But Zach M. Woods, the presence of mind, great driving to use the brake a little bit and keep him from overdoing it. Managed to hold him off from going up the track. How much longer will that last, though, with only 2 laps to go this time on by? Joshua Ingram now kind of sneaking his way back in, but it's Roy Scrivano with the race lead. Off the ends of turn number 4. White flag is in the air. White flag in the air. This time on by. We'll send it on down to the back straightaway. One last go. One last get. Off of turn number 3. Down in turn number 4. Jordan Rick looking for one last big push. Not enough. Scrivano pulls off the win again. Back-to-back weeks. Back-to-back race wins. And Royce Scrivano, man of the hour, man of the power. He is a race winner at Myrtle Beach. And what a race battle it was, from having to figure out the trickiness of Iowa Speedway to then having to figure out how to manage a track like Myrtle Beach Speedway. This man shows no remorse and no boundaries when it comes to his talent and his execution. Once again, another flawless race for the number 76. Well, it looks like the boys are having a good time out there, at least we'll say that much. So, while they enjoy their time out in the sun, or the night lights, I should say, it's Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I'm losing it today, guys. Roy Scrivano is going to win it. Second goes to Jordan Riddick. Third to Race Bible, fourth to Noah Healy, and then Matthew Karakov goes fifth to round out top 5. Second one's, though, solid performance in 6th. 7th to Ingram, 8th to Singleton, 9th to Ryan Dyer, Chandler Hutchins, and 10th. That rounds out your top 10 in the field, as we now headed on down to talk with your top 3. And out of the gate here, well, it's no surprise here. We're going to talk with this fella right here. It's going to be Race Bible here now on the show here. Race, congratulations on this one, bud. You had a lot of stuff going down on the track, but when you held on line, you held on for good. And the top 3 podium certainly shows it.
Yeah, car ran actually really good. It was one of the cleanest races I think I've had this season. So I'm really proud of our number 8 Ford Mustang.
You're proud of it and keeping it up with the distance, keeping up the chances here. So, I mean, now with this one kind of in the bag and this one kind of in the books, how much further do you think, really, with the season coming up, that you can actually put this thing in towards victory lane?
We keep getting faster and faster every week, but we keep getting short tracks as well. If we keep getting short tracks that I'm good at, I feel like we can park at victory lane once or twice this year.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, though, with a solid performance and a finish here today, I will ask you this, sir. Who do you want to thank you for this one?
I want to thank RBR, RB Excavating, Best Insurance and Financial, Connor Osborne, and P1 Perfect.
For sure there. All right, well, Race Bible, congratulations on the third place finish here, and we'll catch you out next time here on the show.
All right, thank you.
Race Bible, ladies and gentlemen, coming away with a third place finish today, as we're going to take it down now and talk with our second place finisher here today. Ladies and gentlemen, now joining me here in second place, Jordan Riddick now taking on the line here as he puts the number 15 in second place once again, behind only the Scrivano camp. But Riddick, congratulations on that second place finish, and it seems like this car is dialed in long runs, but these cautions seem to keep dialing you back a bit. Your thoughts on that in this case?
Oh yeah, I mean our car is good every week. I mean we usually have a 1-2 car. I think it's our second week in a row we got second, so I mean it's not terrible, but I mean we just need one more position. Yeah, the cautions kill us. I mean if we could go caution free, I feel like we'd have a faster car than Royce, but he's got short run speed, and I guess that's what I need to work on. So that's what we're gonna work on.
Work on it, get it figured out, kind of dial back some things, maybe dial up a few more. But with all that's going on right now and everything that's playing out here on the track, I mean, how difficult is it for you and your crew to really keep up pace and keep under control, knowing how things are getting right now?
I wouldn't say it's that hard. Usually me and Royce and Ryman, we're usually out front of the field, so usually we just focus forward and don't really have to focus to the rear a whole lot unless I'm leading. So yeah, we just keep doing what we're doing, and we give it our best shot every week.
Sure there. Well, Myrtle Beach definitely gave you guys some troubles and some headaches here or there, but you put up a good fight, put up a great show. So, nevertheless, as you come away second tonight, who do you want to thank here, sir?
Anna Express, Luxury Realty Group, Jack's Wax, Ernest Performance, Simpson, and P1 Performance.
All right, Jordan, we appreciate you coming on board here. I definitely know you made some of those sponsors proud, and definitely well worth their time putting that on the car. Congratulations here, sir.
Thank you.
Jordan Riddick, ladies and gentlemen, coming away here second place, but the man of the hour with the power today, back-to-back weeks in Iowa to Myrtle Beach. Royce Scrivano wins this one out, and Royce, congratulations on a race win here today. And boy, howdy, sir. I mean, you just can't seem to put this thing into victory lane or stop putting it in victory lane, can you?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Iowa and this Myrtle Beach track are two different animals. It's this one's definitely a save the tires as best you can. It's easy to make a pass on the inside, but at the cost of some rubber, it's a tough decision. But Jordan kept me honest, and I told him afterwards every lap was a qualifying lap to try to keep him behind me.
Yeah, I was about to say, Riddick really was trying to get you on that long run, and I know we've seen you on long runs before, and it seems like you and him can really go back and forth at it with whoever is the better of that, but it's really, to me, the struggles seem to be fighting off against with hard racing versus what the caution's going to deal you out, and looked like today here at Myrtle Beach, this track was giving you guys as much headaches as it was trying to control. Your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I'm curious what the cause for some of the wrecks was back in the field, but you know, with fixed setups and such a tight track, naturally you'll have that. But you know, nonetheless, I think people take some pointers for next time, and hopefully we give another good race to the fans next week.
Absolutely there. Well, nevertheless, though, Scrivano, as you come away with yet another race win and another victory, who do you want to thank?
Well, first I want to I'm glad to talk to you every week. It's almost becoming a routine, but I also want to thank the competitors in the field for racing clean, and especially Jordan for, like I said, he could have given me the bumper, but you know, he'll know that him and I race each other with respect, so it's right back to him. And want to thank my teammates, David and Jerry, and my family watching at home.
Absolutely. Well, right now, with the strength in number and the strength in the pack, you have won another race here, Scrivano. Congratulations, and we'll see you next time out here, buddy.
You got it. Can't wait. Thanks.
Royce Scrivano, ladies and gentlemen, another winner, another trip to victory lane. Two different tracks, two different worlds. He don't care. He'll put them up, and he'll fight them up. And another victory here on PTM Racing TV, ladies and gentlemen. So, with that in mind, I thank you for tuning in and coming and joining us today. If you did like what you see, like and follow us on our Facebook, where most of our live action is. But subscribe here as well on YouTube, so you never miss a show, you never miss a beat. We certainly cannot thank you enough for every single time you guys tune in. Without a doubt, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. For now, though, be safe. Take care. God bless. Hopefully tomorrow I'll have the setup all cleared up and good to go. But thank you for now. See you then.